Welcome to another Warhammer 40,000 battle report here at Slider Games. Today we have a 1500 point Tempest of War battle between the Blood Angels and my Tyranid Hive Fleet Baraxas. And again, thanks for coming in, checking out the channel, watching our vids. If you're enjoying it, please like, subscribe, and do all those things. Check the little bell icon. We release a video every other Wednesday, so consistent releases. But back to the time at hand. In our Tempest of War, we're fighting over vital ground, and we have your classic Dawn of War deployment here. So we have 5 objective markers, one here in this set of ruins, by the crates, up on this ruined platform, back here by these weird plants, and then one up here on top of this ruined building. So this is our ancient destroyed battlefield. Some Imperial supplies have been left here as well from a battle in the past. We even have some alien plant life retaking the battlefield, but this is going to be a very melee-centric battle. So our vital ground is good for this one. So in this mission with vital ground, you get 3 points for holding your home objective marker, 4 points if you hold any no man's land objective, and then 5 points for holding your enemy's deployment zone objective. And in control of the Imperial vampires, Ty has returned.
I'm back.
He's back.
I was outside fighting raccoons in the garbage. Let's go.
Hanging out, waiting. So yeah, so last time, Imperial Knights, evil, so Chaos Knights. Yeah, but now you're back with some Blood Angels. What are your opinions on the Blood Angels right now?
They're actually looking pretty good. Gameplay wise, they always look good, in my opinion.
Yeah, yours look very good.
Wise, they're just cool.
Yeah,
just cool. It's like, I mean, even Tyranids are just cool. They're always cool. Yeah.
We both want to chop each other up and consume biomass. You specifically blood, me the rest of it as well. But you know,
narratively, this is a great great matchup.
Yeah, who can eat who first? And Blood Angels love Tyranids anyway. They're really good. They're close friends. Nobody ever invaded a planet.
They got a little softball league on, on Saturdays. You know, they're
get along
good friends.
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's take a look at the armies. This is 1,500 points exactly of my Hive Fleet Baraxas. We are a splinter of Hive Fleet Kraken, so we get +1 AP on our attacks when we charge, and I've swapped out their second trait so that they get +1 to their charge rolls. But in charge today, we do have a Neurothrope here leading the pack with his, mind powers. He has Catalyst and Paroxysm as his psychic powers, in addition to Smite and Synaptic Lore, which come from Kraken. I did not pay for Warlord traits, so he does not have any extra abilities in that regard. Then we also have a Broodlord who's got Onslaught for his psychic power. I did pay for the Yumgarl factor for his relic, so he can take +2 to his strength, +1 toughness, or +1 attack at the start of combat. Then supporting them in our troops, we've got 3 squads of Tyranid warriors, 1 squad over here with dual bone swords and a venom cannon, a squad with scything talons and devourers, and then a second squad with dual bone swords, and they have death spitters on all the models. Then behind them we have 2 squads of 10 gene sealers. Each of those squads does have a couple acid moths in there for stratagem purposes. Then further in the back, we've got a Trigon who will be coming up from underground. He does have adrenal glands, paid for that upgrade on him, so he gets +1 to his strength and movement. Then we have a Tyrannifex with an acid spray. I did spend the points to give him Dermic Symbiosis, so he has a 4-up invulnerable save. And then we do have a squad of 5 Zoanthropes, the mean brain boys. They are super good, super powerful. We'll see what the Blood Angels can do to combat them. I will note, I did forget, I do have adrenal glands on both of the Bone Sword squads and Toxin Sacs on all 3 squads of warriors, so they will auto wound on 6s to hit. But that is 1,500 points of Hive Fleet Baraxas. Let's look at the Blood Angels. This is 1,485 points of Blood Angels. What do we have going on over here?
Okay, starting out, we have Dante, Warlord for the extra CP, Warlord trait, Heroic Bearing, can't take anything else. I then took that extra CP and gave this boy, my Apothecary, Sanguinary Priest, Apothecary, upgrade, jump pack upgrade. Gave him the Warlord trait of Soul Warden, which is a 5-up, feel no pain.
Yep.
Against mortal wounds. It's an aura ability. He has Bloody Chalice, and I also spent another one on Teeth of Terror relic.
Yeah, Teeth of Terror is amazing.
Going behind them, I'm going to go to the Glorious Golden Boys.
Yeah.
The Sanguinary Guard. They all are equipped with the Axe and Inferno pistol, so it's going to be very, very, very hard hitting.
Yeah.
Over here, we got in their troop choice. Those are elites, by the way. Mm-hmm. And my troop choice, I have Assault Intercessors, led by John Connor.
John Connor. Earned his name slaughtering Tyranids, actually.
Yes, sir. Thunderhammer. And then behind them, we have a squad of Assault Marines. This is my first time trying with these guys. Mm-hmm. They're led by this guy right here. He has a Inferno pistol and Lightning Claw.
Nice.
That's my fast attack. Back to my elites, we have the Relic Contemptor Dreadnought, another CP. Mm-hmm. And he has twin Volkites and a Cyclone Launcher.
Yeah, he looks
cool. And then
cool.
Finally, in my heavy slot, Eradicators.
Yeah, sweet. Love it. We'll note also, so per the lore, his Sanguinary Guard have to earn their wing. So that's why only 3 of these guys have wings. The other guys have joined more recently. Is that how it works? And then they earn their wings. That's awesome. Love it.
And they're here to earn their wings.
They are
exterminating
some
bloods.
Some slaughtering.
Some bugs.
Yeah, bugs, bloods.
Blood.
There will be plenty of blood regardless, but they look awesome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Really, really cool. Very well done.
Thank you.
All right. Let's look at deployment. We are deployed here for this 1500 point battle report. The Tyranids are spread along this flank down here as they have moved through this essentially forgotten by the Imperium planet consuming biomass throughout when the Blood Angels arrive to exterminate them. But the plan here is basically I have a big blob in the center. On my home objective, we don't want to give this up. So we do have our Scything Talon, Devourer squad of warriors sitting on top of it, holding onto it. Tyrannifex, Zoanthropes, Neurothrope, Broodlord, and a squad of Genestealers slightly forward deployed here with some line of sight blocking terrain, so they're less likely to be shot. However, that being noted, we were talking about this before, there's very little shooting, and what shooting we have is very limited range. Basically all pistols from the Blood Angels, aside from the heavier stuff there in the center of the battlefield. So both armies +1 to charges. This is definitely a charging melee fest. We have one squad with the Venom Cannon hanging out on this flank, and then finally the other Bone Sword squad and a squad of Genestealers out here on this flank. So we're both kind of waiting back, waiting for the other army to move forward so that we can kind of spring our counter attack on the other unit. I will also mention my Trigon is underground, waiting to burrow up to surprise the Blood Angels from behind. But what do we have over here with the Blood Angels?
Well, spread out along my deployment.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get to those objectives quick.
Yep.
I also want to charge you and blend you up and exterminate those damn dirty bugs.
Yes.
Starship Trooper style.
Yes.
My plan is just to push up the board, maintain board control, dish out mortal wounds with the blade.
Yeah, from the center.
And all in all, have a good, fun, close match today. That's what my plan is.
Yeah.
No longer one-sided.
Yeah, more than 4 models this time.
Yeah, more than 4.
You're apothecary guy, but it's not really an apothecary.
He is. He's paid for the upgrade.
Yeah.
Chief Apothecary jump pack.
What is his actual unit called though?
This unit is a Salt Marines. It's a fast attack.
The guy though.
Oh, Sanguinary Priest.
Sanguinary Priest. There we go. Okay, so yeah, he's over here with the Assault Marines, and then Dante is in there with the other Golden Boys, the Sanguinary Guard.
They're hiding.
And then the Assault Intercessors down there on that flank with all the firepower in the center to hold the home objective and shoot stuff off. And this is a pretty good vantage point to shoot down into these firing lines, so that'll be a good spot for the guns. But this is important. We kind of both want to go second. But let's roll off here and see who gets to hopefully lose so they can go second. All right, I'll let you roll first, sir.
I'm going to throw that in the crater. Hey!
It's a 6. That's okay, a 5. So yes, it will be the Blood Angels.
Turn 1.
Battle round 1. Dante has issued his orders. Assassination. Kill the Broodlord or the Neurothrop. No retreat, no surrender. Don't fall back or fail a morale check. Don't move off of an objective. And that's it. Score 5 points. That should be an easy one, actually, for the first battle round. And then capture enemy outpost. Control the opponent's objective in their deployment zone. That will be very difficult. Let's go into movement. The Blood Angels have completed their movement. I will note my Synaptic Imperative is Predatory Guile, so all of my units will get the benefit of light cover. Actually, these guys are outside of Synapse range. I made an error when deploying, so they won't get it, but they're already in light cover, so they're fine. So yeah, everybody will have light cover. So +1 to armor saves for the little bit of shooting that will come in. But these guys moved up. They are with the Sanguinary Priest on this objective. The armed contingent, the ranged contingent, there we go. They're all armed with various weapons, but the ranged contingent moved up to hold their home objective and fire from that awesome firing platform. And then Assault Intercessors shifted up, and the Sanguinary Guard actually advanced. They're all the way up there.
Everything over here advanced.
Oh yeah, so everything, yeah, on that flank advanced up. So they're up on that objective, ready to attack or repel an assault from warriors and gene stealers. But that being said, some gene stealers are exposed.
They're gonna get shot.
Yeah, so there will be some shooting. So we'll come back, grab some dice, and shoot some gene stealers in the center of the battlefield. We are starting off with the Contemptor, but we did some other looking around, and we've got a couple warriors out here exposed. So I did spend a command point on Reinforced Hive Node, so they'll reduce all damage by 1. His Volkite blasters do a flat 2, so those will go to a flat 1. But he's firing everything into the warriors, starting with his missile launcher.
Yep. Cyclone missile launcher, the frag type. Mm-hmm. Heavy 2d6.
So that is 7 shots.
7 shots. Grabbing that dice. Okay. Mm-hmm. On 3s.
On 3s.
Ooh.
Couple misses. Okay.
These leaves it on 5s.
Yeah, because they're strength 4 T5. So 1 wound.
1 AP.
Is there AP we want to frag?
Yeah, it's AP 1 because I'm a Devastator.
Yep, that's right. So 4 up armor save because of the +1. So I do take a wound on one of them. And let's grab some dice and shoot the big gun. So we've got 16 shots with the Volkite blasters and hitting on 3s.
Alrighty.
Okay, let's look at that. That was 9 hits. We're looking for 3s to wound. Okay, it looks like 7 wounds.
We have 4 mortals right off the bat.
Ooh, that's not what we wanted to hear about.
There's 4 mortals, and they are all AP 1. So these are mortals in addition to normal.
In addition, yeah. So still 7 saves, and it's AP -1, but I have light cover, so 4 ups. That's dead squad, because this is 4 mortal wounds that kills 1. 1's down to 1 wound. He's dead, and then 3 more go through. Okay, you wipe the squad. And I will note, we forgot to mention actually, this is also the objective thing, so you get a point for killing a unit, so that is 1 point for the Blood Angels. The Eradicators are now firing into the Gene Stealers. We will note we forgot about it whenever he was rolling, but he did spend a command point on Wisdom of the Ancients, so these are going to be re-rolling hit rolls of 1.
Alright.
And it paid off with 2 1s.
Yeah.
And
that
all hit.
Really cocked.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
so
they all hit.
All hit, 4 hits, and these are going to wound on 2s. 2 1s. You haven't spent a command point, actually, if you would want to try to kill an extra Gene Stealer.
I will do that, because filthy Gene Stealers. That's why I'm not wearing my jeans.
Yes, exactly. They'd steal them from you.
Filthy Gene Stealers. Yep.
Okay, so that is 3 wounds. They do have a 5 up and vulnerable save. I say once, so 2 Gene Stealers get obliterated. With those shots fired, that is the end of Blood Angels turn 1. No charges to make at this point. So they will score 1 point for the primaries for killing a unit, and they will have the opportunity to get no retreat, no surrender, should they not fail any morale checks in the Tyranid turn. But you're going to drop secure enemy outpost at the end of your turn, so going to pass on that one. So Scored 1 so far with a chance to get 5 more in the Tyranid turn, but let's go on to the Tyranid objectives. The Neurothrope and the Hive Mind have issued their orders. Attempting target, the Blood Angels have selected the one being held by the Assault Marines and the Sanguinary Priest. So just a lone squad of Gene Stealers over there to try to get that. Grind them down, kill more units than the Blood Angels. That's actually going to be pretty tricky here on this first turn. And then bring it down, kill the Contemptor. Let's take a look at movement. Tyranids have moved. Over here on the right flank, the Gene Stealers moved up. They've got an 8-inch charge into these guys. This is our tempting target. I'm not really sure that they can survive this, but they're going to throw their weight over here just to hopefully whittle these guys down. In the center, our Broodlord and Zoanthropes advanced over. Actually rolled a 1 on the Zoanthropes advance, re-rolled it with a command point and got a 6. So I do have 1 Zoanthrope actually in range of this objective, but they are here in the center of the battlefield in range to do some smiting that direction. The Broodlord also advanced over just for some synaptic linking, actually. The Tyranifax shifted. He's going to be able to acid spray into the Golden Boys up here. Our home objective is being held. I could have shifted them around, held the objective, and maybe got a few shots over here, but I'd rather just hold them back in this dense cover so that they can get a little bit more protection. And then this squad of warriors shifted forward. So the idea is shoot, charge into the Golden Boys. The Gene Stealers in the center, I did a command point on opportunistic advance. So they moved 16 inches. The idea is I want to cast Onslaught from my Broodlord onto them, and so they can charge up into the Contemptor. And yeah, that's pretty much the plan. So charge in the center, charge on the right, charge on the left. We're going to spread the love across the battlefield. But let's do some psychicking. I need Onslaught from the Broodlord onto these guys. I need a 6. That is an 11, so that'll work. Next, let's do Catalyst from the Neurothrope onto the Zoanthropes. And that passes with a 10. And then finally, I'm going to smite with the Zoanthropes into the Contemptor. They are being buffed by the Neurothrope, so they roll 3d6. So I'll take the 10, which plus 5 is a super smite.
Oh no.
So it's d6 plus 3 into the Contemptor. So that will be 5 mortal wounds on your boy. He has a venerable save though, right?
No, that's his invulnerable is for...
Okay, so he doesn't... Let's double check that. He might have a 6-up Feel No Pain.
No, he's...
Double checked. I was thinking all Contemptor Dreadnoughts had the 6-up, like, in Venerable Dreadnought and Feel No Pain, but he doesn't get it. So 5 wounds on the Contemptor. Then, going over here to the Tyranifax, firing his Acid Spray. This is d6 plus 6 for 12 shots. That's as good as it gets. 12 auto hits, strength 6, so wounding on 3s. Let's see.
This one's making me nervous.
9 3-up saves, 2 damage each, so each fail will kill a little dude. Just, yeah, right there's good. So 2 fails? 3 fails.
3 fails.
Okay, so 3 of them go down. I'm going to find some spines or something from him as well. We'll do that off camera. Next to shoot is our Venom Cannon. It is Blast, and there are 7 of them left, so we get all 3 shots. These will hit on 3s. They all hit, and strength 8, so wounding on 2s. So 2 wounds at AP minus 3, so 2 3-up saves. You fail 1, it is 2 damage, so they'll kill another one. Do you want to CP that?
I will CP that.
Okay.
Because I want them all there.
Needs a 3-up. Still fails. Okay, they kill 1 more. I will mention the Stinger Salvos did no damage from him. And then we do have 6 Death Spitters coming in, hitting on 3s. That's 5 hits. The Strength 5, wounding on 3s. So that's only 2 more wounds. These with your Armor of Contempt and everything will be 2-up saves.
Back to my 2-up.
Do fail 1, but they're only 1 damage. So kicking off our charging, we'll start here. They need a 4-inch charge to get up this into him. The Contemptor is firing Overwatch, so we're going to start with his grenade or missile launcher. Yeah. So, but it's minimum 3.
Minimum 3.
So 3 shots on 6. No hits there, and then the big gun.
The big gun.
16 shots to murder some gene stealers.
Yeah, and on 6s...
Sixes hit. It's 6s to wound or the mortal.
To wound, yes,
yeah, okay.
Yes.
So
sorry,
6s to hit, and then 6s to wound will be extra bad for the gene stealers.
16. Alrighty.
I see a couple 6s at least. 2 6s. Okay.
Well, you know, can't win them all.
You might roll 2 6s again though. That would be good.
Roll over here.
There's a 6.
1 6.
What's the strength?
The strength is strength 6.
Okay, so 1 wound, 1 and 1 mortal wound. So 5 up invulnerable save. Which we fail. So you kill 2 with Overwatch.
Woo!
And then I need a 4-inch charge for the Hive Mind. Okay, they're in with a 7. With the first squad of Gene Stealers making it in, we'll shift over to these guys. They need an 8-inch charge. That is an 11. So they are in as well. That might be their ultimate undoing, but they hopefully will kill some Marines first. And then swinging around, the Warriors are going in to the Sanguinary Guard. They need a 5. And they have a 7. Okay, so we are in all around the board. The Blood Angels only have 1 CP, so there's no fear of interruption. So we're going to start over here. I have 40 attacks with the Gene Stealers. All of them are in range. I dropped a die, so we're going to roll 39. 3s to hit. And then 1 more. All right, let's see what we got. It was only 24 hits, unfortunately, but we need 4s to wound. And each of these is at AP -4, so there'll be 6-up saves. Only 11 6-up saves here. 4, so need 2 to kill. 2 fails, kill a Marine. You save 1, so that's 5. I kill half the squad.
How much damage is that?
1 damage each.
1 damage each. Yeah. I have feel no pains.
Oh, geez, they have feel no pains. Forgot about that. Oh yeah, from the apothecary guy, Sanguinary Priest.
Yeah.
Okay, so 5 ups.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that's going to save at least 1 guy.
So, yep, that
saves 1 guy.
Yeah,
so 1 damage each. So
this is dead Marine,
yeah,
dead
4,
Marine.
4 dead assault Marines.
Dead. Oh, yes.
Next up, the second squad of Gene Stealers are going to fight the Contemptor Dreadnought. I did spend a command point on Acidic Torrent, which I've never done before. So I do have 2 Acid Maul models within engagement range. So I get to roll 2d6, and on 3 pluses, I do a mortal wound. So 2 mortal wounds on the Contemptor brings him down to 2 wounds left. Let's see if they can finish him off. So now we have our 24 attacks into the Contemptor. These hit on 3s. Let's see what we got. It was 16 hits, perfectly statistically average, but we do need 5s to wound. Okay, that looks pretty good. It'll be 6 5-up saves. Wow, that's pretty good. Oh my gosh, you could re-roll 1 to save him. Is it worth your last command point?
You know what? I'm here to sling dice.
Oh my gosh.
Here to sling dice.
Oh, just misses.
So
does he explode?
Well,
that is the question.
Hopefully he does.
Does not explode.
No.
Okay, so the Contemptor crumples to the ground. Last combat for the Tyranids, the Warriors. These guys actually are underneath, technically speaking. We just brought them up here to make it easier to see and it looks cooler. But I did spend a command point on Adrenal Surge, so they'll each get an extra attack. So base attacks of 3 with the dual bone swords goes to 4, and then with the stratagem, 5 attacks each. So this is 15 attacks, -1 to hit because you're a fancy golden paint job. So 4s to hit. Ooh, let's see. Rolling was not great that time. We did get 2 6s, which are toxin sacks or auto wounds, 4 regular wounds. I am going to spend a command point to re-roll 1 of these. And it doesn't work. Okay, so we got 2 wounds so far, and then these are 2s to wound. Okay, so that is 5 wounds at AP -3, which you reduced to AP -2. So 4 ups. Each fail kills a dude. And you only lose 2 guys. So there are 3 left to strike back. 3 Sanguinary Guard left. They have 4 attacks since they were charged. They will be hitting on 2s and re-rolling 1s because of Dante. I did spend my last command point to reinforce these Warriors' Hive Node 1 more time, bringing their damage 2 weapons down to damage 1. Well, let's see the damage here.
Alrighty.
And 1 reroll. What'd she make? So all 12 hit.
They are +3 strength.
So these will be 3s to wound.
3s to wound.
Ooh, that okay.
Oh wait, +1 to wound because I was charged.
Oh yes. Okay, so 11. Ooh.
11 AP -2.
All right, let me grab some dice. That is 11 through. I need 6 ups with the AP -2, and I make 1. So that is 10 damage, which wipes the squad out actually. So they are defeated. We did the fight back with the Eradicators over here. Off camera, 2 Gene Stealers died. But coming over here, we've got, first, there are 6 Marines left, 5 Chainswords. They're going to swing first. Hitting on 3s. So these will be 2s to wound because of Blood Angels. That was 9 wounds, 5 up and vulnerable saves. That was bad. Significantly worse than when I saved when the Eradicator struck. So that's 8 dead. 2 left. 5 attacks with the lightning claws from the sergeant. Okay, so 3 hits. 3s to wound, but reroll all wounds. Okay, reroll the 1. Okay, so 3 wounds.
82.
Need 5.
83.
And that's 2 dead. The squad is wiped. So, Gene Stealers are gone. However, we do have a couple morale checks, and these are big because if you fail either one, you lose no retreat, no surrender. So we'll start with these guys. They need a 5 or 6 fails, so 4 or less. So they fail morale. So you lose 1, and then you need to roll 5 more die. They ignore modifiers, so just 1s. They're not below half the strength
1 at a
anyway.
time, right?
No, just
Okay.
you just choose who goes. So 2 more will flee. So you lose a total of 3. There are 3 guys left. And then we got to go over and check on the Sanguinary Guard, who can only pass on a 1, actually, even though Dante is behind them screaming at them. And they fail as well. So 1 leaves, and then you roll 2 more. Okay, so the 2 left over here. So morale is a thing for the Marines, so they will not get no retreat, no surrender. However, scoring-wise, Tyranids get Bring It Down for killing the Contemptor, and we get 1 point for killing the Contemptor. However, the Tyranids lost 2 units in their own tune, so the Gene Stealers and the Warriors over here. So that's 2 more points for the Marines. So I believe the total score will be 6-3 heading into Battle Round 2. Dante has continued to give his orders. No retreat, no surrender. So with the failed morale test, they're holding on to that to try to get it again. Assassination is still there. Kill the Brood Lord or the Neurothrope. And the new one, grind them down. Kill more units than the Tyranids. Let's go to movement. The Assault Intercessors advanced, so they are beneath this objective, holding it. And the Sanguinary Guard and Dante shifted this way to try to take control of the home objective. The Eradicators staying in combat, they'll be able to fire their pistols in to try to clear those Gene Stealers. Swinging around to the far side, a command point was spent to bring one of these guys back to life with the Sanguinary Priest. And that is the movement for the Blood Angels, looking to clear the home objective and re-secure their base before pressing forward with the attack. Let's take a look at some maybe some shooting, and then jumping into the charge phase. So we did the shooting off camera. Their pistols went in, no damage was done. Dante is charging. He only needed a 5 because he can fly and +1 to charge. Rolled, got a 5. So he is in to the Gene Stealers now to see if his golden brethren can jump in behind him. Let's roll for them, and then we'll measure up and see what they actually need with their jump packs.
They're gonna need a.
They can fly too, so it's
so it's about a 10.
Yeah, 9 or 10.
9 or 10.
We'll get an exact
Well, I need a
measurement
9
after
10
that. That is a 7. That is definitely going to be a fail. Do you want a command point? That. Do you have a command point?
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, you spent yours. Okay, so Dante is in. They are out. Let's go to combat. Dante has leapt into the fray. 7 attacks to eliminate the Gene Stealers. Hitting on 2s, I presume.
Yeah, 2s.
Ooh. The Gene Stealers flashing their clawed arms in front of him, distract him a little bit.
So +3 strength, so that's 7.
So it's 2s, because he gets +1 to wound. So it is 4 wounds. They do have a 5 up
3.
and vulnerable save. Just need a 5 to survive. I got one. One Gene Stealer is left alive. After the flurry of blades and claws and punches go through, the Gene Stealer did 1 wound to the Eradicators, and then they pummeled him to death with the blunt end of their weapons. So that is 1 point for killing a unit and 1 kill for grind them down. So at the end of the battle round, yes, you'll get 5 total points for the Blood Angels. They got 4 points for holding an objective in no man's land, +1 for killing a unit for 5 on the primary, and then possibility for no retreat, no surrender, which they should get this time, and grind them down if the Tyranids cannot kill anything in battle round 2. So let's go into the objectives for the Tyranids. The Hive Mind has issued orders to the Neurothrope. Deploy Teleport Hammer. Do an action wholly within the Blood Angel deployment zone. That's going to be tough. Then we drew Overwhelming Firepower, which we spent a command point to ditch because that's just not realistic right now. And got No Retreat, No Surrender, which we could probably do that. And then finally, Assassination. Kill Dante or the Sanguinary Priest. But Dante is a little bit more exposed right now. Let's go to movement. Movement phase is complete for the Tyranids. Warriors stayed back, holding the home objective. This guy moved forward. He did get slowed by the crater, so he only moved 9, but he is in range to flame these 2 guys, get rid of them. In the center, we advanced the Broodlord. I rolled a 1, so I didn't want to spend the command point. I've only got 1 left on the opportunistic advance, so he's going to need like a 6 or 7 inch charge maybe up there into that clump. I'm looking for Dante. Over here in the center, with no retreat, no surrender, I couldn't leave this objective since I started on it, but I did shift the Zoanthropes around a little bit to give them better range for smiting up here. And then the Neurothrope hanging out. He did give his buff again to the Zoanthrope, so they'll get to roll 3d6 when they do their smiting. And then finally, the Trigon did come in. I really wanted him to put him in back here to try to get a charge into the Sanguinary Priest. However, he couldn't fit through this gap without hitting this, which would slow him down on his charge. So I brought him this way, so hopefully he can eat away at those Assault Marines and then maybe expose him for later assassination possibilities. But that is our setup right now. We're going to go ahead and kick it off with, I did do the Synaptic Imperative of +1 to my casting, my Psychic powers from the Neurothrope. So we're going to start with Onslaught over here, so I do get +1 to this. So that goes off, so the Broodlord can still charge even though he advanced 1 inch. Then we'll go to our Smite from these guys, which is actually going to be hitting the Eradicators. So we get 3d6. So we'll take the 11 for the Super Smite. So this is d6 plus 3 for 7 mortal wounds. One guy was on 2, so he dies.
He dies.
And then another guy will take 3 and die, and one guy will be left on 1 wound remaining. So that was good. I could smite with the Neurothrope now and maybe eliminate the Eradicators, but I would also like to cast Synaptic Lore and Catalyst. So we're going to go big or go home. We're going to smite. So he gets +2 to this because he's naturally +1 plus the Synaptic Imperative. And that is also a super smite. So d6 for 3 mortal wounds. So that will kill the wounded guy, and one guy will be down to 1 wound remaining. And then let's cast Synaptic Lore on Dante. So with that, we'll get to reroll charge rolls into Dante. And that goes off on a 11. Okay, so reroll charges. So I don't have Catalyst up at all, but I do get to reroll my charge roll into Dante from the Broodlord. Shooting is over for the Tyranids. The Tyrannifex fired in his acid spray into the 2 Sanguinary Guard. They are dead. He fired his Stinger Salvo, there we go, into the Eradicator. Could not take him out. And then over here, our Bioelectric Pulse flashed out and did no damage to these guys over here. But we're going to go to the charges. So he needs an 8-inch charge with our Kraken trait thingy. So an 8. That is an 8. So he is in over here. And then we measured it up and measured it up twice. The Broodlord is charging both models up here, Dante and the Eradicator. So it is a 9-inch charge, but it is rerollable with Synaptic Lore. But the Eradicator is going to spend the final command point this round for the Blood Angels to Overwatch. So a 6. Big money, no whammies.
Big money.
Ooh, okay. So now I need a 9. That is a 12. The Broodlord is leaping up to strike down Dante. In the combat phase, so Blood Angels don't have any command points, so I don't have to worry about interrupting. So we're just going to start over here with the Trigon, going into the Assault Marines. We did think about intervening, but with Assassination in my hand, didn't want to risk me just knocking that guy out. So these are 12 attacks hitting on 3s, and I can reroll 1 with his Prehensile Tail, Pincer Tail. Didn't work. Okay, maybe I should have saved that for the wound roll, but these will wound on 2s. And I should have saved it, but that is 5 wounds, AP -4 because I charge. So AP -3 for Armor of Contempt. 5 6-ups. Oh, and you make 2. That's huge. They're 2 damage each, though.
Kills
so you
2,
need,
or
but
kills
you have
3.
Feel No Pains.
Feel No Pains. Yeah,
So 6 5-ups.
Feel No. FMPs. Let's go. No, these are 6-ups for the regular.
6-ups.
Mortal wounds for 5.
Okay. But you save 2 more, so 2 guys die.
Yep.
So there are 2 remaining to hit back, and then we'll go over to the big show. The Broodlord looming over Dante and his Eradicator friend. I am using Yumgarl Factor to give him an extra attack because I'm -1 to hit for Dante's gold paint job. So this will be 7 attacks, hitting on 3s, and then with his Broodlord Claws and Talons, I reroll all the wound rolls. So this is 3s to hit. They all hit. And then these will be 3s to wound, rerolling everything. I lost 1, so I'll reroll that 1. And then this is the first roll for this die. Okay, so they all wound. 6s are AP outrageous. They're all actually AP -4, so this is going to be your invulnerable save.
Yep.
Yeah, so 7, 4 up, invulnerable saves, 2 damage each. Will the
By the
Emperor...
blood of Sanguinius.
Yes.
Oh.
That is a...
Dead Dante.
Dante, as the claws begin to sink into his armor, the teleport Homer flashes and he vanishes from the battlefield. We did our fight backs off camera. The the Assault Marines did 1 wound to the Trigon. The Eradicator did no damage to the Broodlord. So with that, the Blood Angels do score no retreat, no surrender on this battle round, so that gives them 5 points. The Tyranids get Assassination for taking out Dante. And with that, and the point we get for killing a unit with Dante, it gives the Tyranids 20 points to 13 points for the Blood Angels. And they're going to come up with 4 points at the start of the next turn for their primaries. So it is pretty close. Let's go and take a look at their objectives. With Dante off the battlefield, the Sanguinary Priest is now running the show. No prisoners, just kill stuff. Vengeance for Dante. Deploy Teleport Homer. This is going to be probably impossible for them right now to get into the Tyranid deployment zone and do an action. And then Overwhelming Firepower. Another not great draw. But let's see the movement for the Blood Angels. Movement is over for the Blood Angels. Not a lot going on. These guys shifted up out of the building over here looking to shoot and possibly charge into the Tyrannifex. Staying in combat up here with the Eradicator. And then finally over here, nothing really moving. An unfailable charge from the Sanguinary Priest. So that will be that. So we'll do some shooting here briefly off camera and come back with some charges and combat. Pistol shots over here. The Inferno pistol went in, did 4 wounds, and then the regular pistol also hit him. So he's down to 8. So he did get hurt pretty pretty nicely with the pistols. Over here, pistol shot, nothing happened. And then over here, they fired in all their pistols, took a couple wounds off. He's down to 15 wounds left. They are charging, so I am spending a command point to overwatch with his acid spray. So this is D6 plus 6 auto hits. The big 11 auto hits. These will be wounding on threes. Oh, that's good. That's good.
Maybe I should have popped for transhuman.
Do you have a command point?
Yeah, I do have a command.
Yeah, transhuman.
Alright, I'm popping it.
Yep. Okay, so let's look at the footage because I just grabbed those. After reviewing the footage, there was a 3, so they got pulled out. So 7 wounds go through. So we do have one guy left in cover, so we're going to start with his saves. He gets a 4 up. So he's alive, so that's 1. Okay, so he's dead. So 5 more saves at 5 up for the rest of the squad. And you save 1 more, so 5 in total. Half the squad goes down. We do also have our Stinger Salvo, which probably won't do anything. Stinger Salvo went in, no more damage was done, but now we got to make the charge. It is a 6-inch if we avoid the crater. And that is a 6, so they are in.
7.
Yep, so they are into combat. The assault intercessors are in. We've got John Connor and his hammer and 4 guys with chainswords. I will note my synaptic imperative is goaded for slaughter, so if he survives, 6s to hit will explode when I fight back. But we're going to start with the assault intercessors and their chainswords, hitting on 3s. That was 15 hits. Need 4s to wound here. Got their +1 wounding. That was 9 wounds through. I do have paid for dermic symbiosis, so this is 4 up invulnerables. So we fail 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he takes 5 wounds, down to 10 remaining. And then John Connor has a hammer to try to finish him off. John Connor in there with his hammer, deep within the bowels, slapping him in the belly with a giant hammer.
Alright, on 4s.
I need 4s because of his hammeriness. Ooh, only 1 and no rerolls. So no Tyranid will be slain today, or at least not yet anyway. And this is strength 8, toughness 8, so it would be 3 to wound.
3s.
Does wound.
Does wound.
4 up invulnerable, which I fail. How much? Flat 3?
Flat 3, yeah.
Okay, cool. So 3 more wounds go through on the Tyranid. Tyranid weathered the storm, but can the Trigon survive the Teeth of Terra and the Sanguinary Priest? All right, how many attacks do we have here? 8 attacks coming through.
1-2s.
1-2s, a few 1s in there. 6 hits. Strength is 7. Teeth of Terror puts you up to strength 7, I believe. So these will be 3s with your blood angelness.
3s.
That was good. That's 6.
Good. 6 AP minus.
Is it 2 or 3?
3 because of the.
Okay, yep. So these are 6 ups, which I fail all of this.
2 damage.
Each. That is a dead Trigon. Does he lash out violently? He does. I think it's D3 mortal wounds. Let me check. As the Sanguinary Priest eviscerates the Trigon, he lashes out. D3 mortal wounds on the Assault Intercessors, or Assault Marines. That is 2. So 1 Assault Marine dies, and then on the Priest, he takes 3 mortal wounds. And then you do have Feel No Pains.
Yep, Feel No Pains.
So 2 on the Assault Boys.
2.
Make
1 makes it through.
Okay, so he doesn't die, just wounds him. And then 3 on the Priest.
3 on the Priest.
And he passes 1, so he takes 2.
Takes
the
2.
Trigon is dead. So that's a point for the Blood Angels for killing a unit. And we will go on to Defenders fighting. Fightbacks are concluded. Broodlord took out the Eradicator. And then over here, no damage was done by the Tyranid. I did actually get a couple extra attacks with my Goaded to Slaughter, but they made all of their saves. So with that, the Blood Angels score 1 point for killing the Trigon, and also gives them 14 wounds towards their no prisoners, which this guy's 17 wounds, so if they can kill him on the next turn, they will score that. Tyranids get 1 point for killing a unit, and we will get 5 points for no retreat, no surrender, making it 26 to 18, I think, currently, going into the battle round 3 for the Tyranids. Let's see what objectives they can draw this time. The Hive Mind says defend the stronghold, so we can get this one as long as the Blood Angels don't run onto it in their next turn. Raise banner, do an action with an infantry unit on an objective in no man's land. That probably is going to be tough. Hold the line is possible, but there are some assault marines and a sanguinary priest who could probably do that pretty easily. So we'll see what the Tyranids can do in the movement phase. We are at the end of the Tyranid turn, actually. So nothing moved. Everything stayed exactly where it was. For psychic powers, I tried to smite with the Broodlord into the assault intercessors. Rolled a 4, failed it. I did get Catalyst off on the Zoanthropes who are raising banner. So they scored 5 points for raise the banner. And then I did get 12 points for the primary. 5 for opponent's objective, 4 in the middle, 3 for my home. Putting our total score to 48 points with primaries and secondaries. And then I fired into combat with the acid spray, killed 3 of the Marines and did 1 damage with his other gun, the whatever it's spiky shooty thing. Can never think of the name of it. But that is the end of the turn. So it is 48 to 18 currently going into battle round 4. Let's see what the Blood Angels can draw for their objectives. These are the objectives from our Sanguinary Priest. So again, no prisoners, kill the terrain effects and you'll score that. Behind enemy lines, this is a good one because you have 2 units in position to take it and it will deny the Tyranids hold the line. And then finally, extend battle lines. This is going to be pretty difficult because you have to control your home objective, so not really achievable this battle round. So let's go on to the movement phase. We are through to the combat phase for the Blood Angels. Both of these units advanced and were able to get wholly within the deployment zone of the Tyranids, so they're going to score 5 points for them and stop the Tyranids from getting hold the line. Over here, the fighter pistols in, no damage done. Tyranifex fought, no damage done. We already did the chainsword, also no damage, but John Connor and his hammer could kill the Tyranifex, which would score 5 points. So that is 3 hits. And these will be 3s to wound.
Yep.
And that is 2. So you do have a way to fight again. So these are 4-up invulnerable saves, which I make 1 and fail 1. Puts me down to 4 wounds. I'm going to save my command point. Okay, so he's down to 4 wounds. And now you have the opportunity to fight again. Would you like to do that?
Yes, I will.
All right, spending... What's the stratagem called?
Let me check that real quick.
Okay, we'll double check the name. So yes, the stratagem is Honor the Chapter. So honoring the Blood Angels chapter and Sanguinius himself, John Connor, and his chainsword friend will try to kill. These are chainswords, that's 2 hits. And no wounds, because it would be a 5 to a force. And now,
right,
John, 1 force.
1 force.
3 hits. Needs 3s to wound. 2 wounds. I just need 1 4 to survive. For the hive mind. I do make it. Okay, he is on 1 wound left. 1 wound left. The psychic might of the hive mind pulses out from the neurothrope and the zoanthrope and pushes the Blood Angels away, repelling their attack here. So the sanguinary priest and his 2 assault marines and John Connor, after knocking the Tyranifex unconscious for a moment, is able to survive and escape to fight another day. But looking at the objectives after primaries and scoring 5 points for holding onto my home objective, defending stronghold, that puts the Tyranids at 65, and I, with my draw, probably would have scored at least 5 more points this turn. We looked at the next few cards for the Blood Angels, and there was no play for them to come back with only 3 units and 5 total models left on the battlefield. So we are calling it here in battle round 4. But that was a good one. I enjoyed that. We'll come back with a bit of a recap. At the conclusion of that bloodbath, which it was the first couple battle rounds, the melee was crazy.
It was really intense. It was hitting hard. like we were just talking talking earlier. Like Jeremy said, like the morale is what killed me. And,
Yeah, you failed 2 morale checks,
over there,
which is very rare for Space Marines in general. So you failed with the Assault Marines and the Sanguinary Guard,
yeah.
and it was double unfortunate because you were holding no retreat, no surrender right then, which slowed you down scoring. And
after that, it was just pretty much.
It was actually the score ended up not being close, but it was actually really close until we were looking at the score. Battle round 3 is when it swung because I drew really good objectives for me. You drew bad objectives. I scored 15 points on secondaries, and you scored 0 in battle round 3, and that really was the big differential. If we would have been even on that battle round, I mean that's a 30-point difference. Me scoring 15, you scoring 0. So if we're just even on that, or it's a little bit closer, this is a 10-point game instead of a 30-point game, which is a huge difference.
Yeah, but is what it is.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was really cool.
But it was fun.
The melee, 2 melee armies squaring off. So I charge in with my Tyranid warriors over here. They take out a couple Sanguinary Guard, and then they're totally wiped by the Sanguinary Guard, which was awesome. The other thing we were talking about, similar scenario over here. The Gene Stealers went in, took out a few Assault Marines, and then you wiped out all of the Gene Stealers. So that was pretty cool. The fight back, or the slap back, as we were referring to it during the game, from the Blood Angels is pretty serious. I think the biggest, I don't want to say the biggest thing, but something, the Dreadnought.
Yeah, I bit off a little too much.
Just moved them up a little bit too much because the Zoanthropes, they were able to smash him with their brain powers. If he would have been shielded by like the Eradicators or something to keep him alive, because he was dishing out serious damage. He took out a whole squad of warriors in 1 round of shooting. And then his mortal wound output, that's how you deal with something like the Zoanthropes who have that high invulnerable save.
I got a little overzealous. I'm just like, I'm going to stick him right here, and he's just going to dish out everything.
It was, an excellent vantage point because he could fire down this way or this way. So he had the field of view up high. It looked cool too, which is always, part of the game in my mind, is, the appearance and making it look cool. But that left him a little exposed. But yeah, other than that, it went really well. I thought it was awesome. It was a bloodbath, much violence and death over here, much violence and death over there. In the middle, we had fights all across the battlefield, which is always cool too. But yeah, did you have fun?
Oh, I did.
Heck yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
I'm just a little tired.
Yeah.
Fighting raccoons.
Yeah, he's your 4th degree black belt now.
I got my 4th Dan yesterday. It was a 5-hour test. I was up the whole entire time. And if you notice, I got a little bit of a shiner. But, man, I'm exhausted mentally and physically.
Yeah. But yeah, congratulations. That's really an awesome achievement. Thanks for coming down and playing even after all of that extreme conditioning and, test of your endurance, to come down and play a game with us. And thanks to you out there watching. Again, if you enjoyed this channel or like what we're doing and want to support us, the best way to do that right now is to subscribe and share this channel with your friends. But all that being said, thanks again. Have fun.